Of course, more Genshin stuff is gonna keep coming out. Of course, more Genshin stuff is gonna keep coming out because why not? Because everything's just going bad for the union voice actors, and now Shirohei has updates. Oh man, they keep gaslighting the ones who play the games in MiHoYo.
Guys, I got some terrible news. This is like terrifying, terrible stuff, okay? Little Kribo is still mad. He says that what we've all done regarding the voice actors is it's inexcusable, guys. This is related to what we talked about yesterday regarding Hoyoverse recasting a number of voice actors.
Ooh, inexcusable, huh? First of all, let's just be real. Anything bad that happens to union voice actors, they would usually say it's the fault of the gamers. No, it's their fault for actually, first off, I first believed that they did not read the fine print, but now I know they did read the fine print. They had an agenda to be inside MiHoYo and force it to go convert into a union company so that it would actually comply with SAG-AFTRA standard, with all SAG-AFTRA standards, so that MiHoYo would not be able to use AI. Here's the problem with that. MiHoYo doesn't care if they use AI. They want to make sure that their game goes smoothly no matter what. So if SAG-AFTRA is going to take that away from them, they absolutely know that they're just not going to give a singular fuck about what the voice actors and actresses in MiHoYo. They're not going to give a single fuck about them. And if they find any of these union voice actors a very big problem for them, all they have to do is just zip them out of existence just like that. That is what they're going to do, and that's what I think they are going to do. And I cannot wait to see that this would happen, bruh.
Oh, we'll definitely take a look at what he has to say to all of us, but on the bright side, there is some good news. Do you remember yesterday when I addressed this whole feet comment controversy thing? And I was like, you know what? Fine, I see you guys. You can get what you want. Well, there.
Yeah, yeah. They're asking for femboy feet. Oh my god! Sometimes the fans they get degenerate. They get degenerates of their own, but hopefully the degenerates are wholesome as a net positive. Yeah.
Very talented artist by the name of Shihiro, who actually I think is right there in the comments. This is Shihiro, isn't it? Wow, caught red-handed, Shihiro. Within hours of me addressing this controversy, Shihiro had actually made art of me showing feet. Yeah, like insanely impressive speed. Never underestimate the artists on the internet. I've made a mistake. It was a grave mistake, but I've paid the price for it. So yeah, it sounds like there's actually going to be a lot of you guys who are happy to see this. So that art can be found on my VTuber Twitter account, which I'll once again pin in the comment of this video. And I actually got a tweet this morning that I saw this morning from someone who it sounds like there might be like more art coming. So yay for you guys that wanted this.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, let's proceed to the actual meat of this.
In the next chapter of this video, we move on to the all-consuming rage of Little Kuribo. And it begins with this blue sky post from Sean Laraway, who says, according the Hoyoverse website, Zenless Zone Zero's 1.7 update has replaced the English voice actors for Kaleda, Grace, and Rena. Once again, referring to the news that we discussed yesterday, Little Kribo saying, these actors deserved better. But he said more than that, because he went on to say this. On a certain subreddit, they're happy about this, and saying Hoyo had no choice. Being happy about striking actors getting fired is inexcusably messed up. Hoyo always had a choice. The anger in the responses continues. We first got this response from Clawmaster. Who is Clawmaster? Let's see. Edited for various VTubers, field reporter for VTuber News Drop, editor for Offkai Expo, and manages Play Skullgirls.gg. Clawmaster saying this. At this point, I am just convinced that most fans of Hoyo don't care about anyone but the product itself. They can get AI to replace not just English actors, but everyone else, and they will still celebrate it. Very incel behavior.
That's okay. That's not the problem. They don't become incels if they celebrate AI replacement. Replacing actors. No one wants actors absolutely replaced by artificial intelligence products. No single sane person. But they keep gaslighting Hoyo fans. The ones who defend these VA actors they keep gaslighting Hoyo fans that they want every voice actor replaced. Explain the Kinich voice actor in Mihoyo then. Seriously, Mihoyo is refining voice activity using artificial intelligence. Why did they replace Kinich with a human person? You ask me that. You ask yourself that, and see if you get an answer. If you don't get an answer for yourself, I'm sorry, but your IQ will not get anywhere if you don't dig deep. You don't do your own research. You don't even take the perspective of others. Please, rather than leave a comment like this, please do your own research. Do better when it comes to expressing your point in this. And shut the literal fuck up. Bro. Seriously.
Behavior. Oh wow, this guy calling everyone an incel, that sure means a lot, buddy. Very original. And we have of course seen other SAG-AFTRA bootleggers making similar arguments about, oh, they're trying to replace us all with AI. And it's like, y'all just got replaced by humans. The three VAs who got replaced by humans. Jacob Takanashi replacing John Patton Wad, that's also a human. We're going to break away from that thread though, because I want to show you some responses from other voice actors. For example, we've got VA Sean Laraway here saying, it is absolutely not okay to celebrate striking actors getting replaced just so you can have your gotcha game waifus voiced. This didn't have to happen. This should not have been inevitable. Thanos moment.
They ignore the entire issue, or they are removing themselves from anyone who's speaking the truth about the Genshin VA's real purpose in Mihoyo. Okay? They're closing themselves off from the actual truth, and that is them trying to convert Mihoyo to comply with SAG-AFTRA guidelines at all, okay? It is not going to happen because Mihoyo is progressive and always moving with their live service, okay? Their shit is live service and it works, even if some points of the live service and the story elements in any of the games, in some of the games mechanics, they're repetitive, but it is still working. Why do you think there are constant patches per few months or per several? Why do you think that remains consistent? Is it because solely they do not care about voice actors? They do not care about voice actors? No, they listen to feedback, bro. And they are seeing this. They are always suffering this same issue that they see this every single time, bro. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. If you're just ignorant to the truth, then I'm sorry. You're not even worth an argument from me. You're not even fucking worth an argument from me. No, really. It's just not really worth it from me.
Hoyoverse is wrong to replace striking actors. Oh, look at this one. We've got Kaiser Neko. And look at the response here down below. It's going to be a good one. They start getting all mad at gamers. So, Kaiser Neko says, in response to Sean Laraway, actually, it's a different Sean Laraway post, isn't it? Let's read this one first, and we'll come back to Kaiser Neko. So, Sean Laraway says here, mind you, the voice actors who were replaced on Zenless Zone Zero never said anything against Hoyoverse. They were just holding the line. Yet the fandom is cheering for their recast anyway. So about that, well, this is my video from yesterday talking about the 3 VAs who got replaced. That's why you can hear my audio, but I'm not moving here because this is from yesterday's recording as I talk over it right now in real time. But this will be really quick, just some examples of how those VAs were actually signal boosting. The strike, for example, retweeting Koi Dao here, and Kelsey Jaffer advocating for the strike. Then we had Chelsea Kwoka also retweeting SAG-AFTRA and Daenerys, where they were trying to get Hoyoverse to sign their agreement.
Even SAG-AFTRA's post has their own reposted post unavailable because it was community noted quick, bro. Can't SAG-AFTRA fucking see past their eyeballs? Can't they reflect, for fuck's sake?
And finally, we also had Crystal Lee also retweeting that thread from Koi Dao, which was very clearly advocating for the strike. Crystal Lee had also retweeted a post from Courtney Lin responding to the statement from John Patton Watt about being replaced by Jacob Takanashi, in which Courtney Lin seemed to be making negative implications about Jacob Takanashi and any VAs who would go against their strike. But that's just stuff I found within seconds of scrolling on the 3VA's Twitter accounts. 3VAs once again got replaced yesterday, or that we got the news of being replaced yesterday, rather. So when Sean Larway is saying that, oh, they never said anything against Hoyoverse, they were just holding the line, this seems like yet another example of these VAs trying to be manipulative with their semantical arguments here, because while they may not have directly said anything against Hoyoverse, they were very clearly doing more than holding the line too. They were actively getting involved in boosting the strike against Hoyoverse. And again, that's just what I found from like under a minute of scrolling. There could have been more stuff too that I didn't see. The entertainment continues as this person responds to Sean Laraway, and we've actually got Paimon VA Karina here. Oh my gosh, let's see. So this person says, I doubt it will happen, but I really hope that in the future, these fans will look back in embarrassment that they supported a multi-billion-dollar company over the rights of workers.
It's really, what did Karina say? Really crazy to me because a lot of these same people told me for years that the English dub sucks and they play it in other languages.
Oh man, just tells you the quality. Just tells you the quality of English dub. It's really just not good. Unfortunately, the reality of the English dub in anime is that if it's not accurate, if it does not honor the original language, it is not good. Automatically, that's supposed to be the case. What else did she say? And I quote, "We must have been really good if they cared so much that the English was silent." I'm sorry, is she actually telling us that it is actually better if it's not silent? Well, whose fault is it that it has become silent in the first place? You guys have decided to walk out. Karina, you decided to try and walk out of this, to collectively not work with other union actors, not because of an ideal of being against artificial intelligence, but because you're trying to convert a company to be against artificial intelligence entirely and to have it acknowledge the guidelines of SAG-AFTRA. You are all you are all really predatory. You Genshin VAs who are under SAG-AFTRA protections for MiHoYo. You guys are absolutely predatory, and I hate that. I really absolutely hate that.
All because they were upset that their favorite game was not fully voiced in English. So, unfortunately for you, Pomeranian of Doom, people have already acknowledged that it's pretty crazy that your clique is so unlikable that we're actually siding with the corporation over y'all. Just something that we've all already talked about and addressed, and it only makes you guys look worse. And it's not simply because we want the game to be voiced in English, it's because y'all were misleading people. You were like, trying to manipulate people, trying to act like you were entitled to the public supporting you without question. And then when people were simply asking questions on the Reddit AMAs, for example, that some of these VAs posted, VAs like went radio silent or got mad or start going to Blue Sky and like trying to get the Reddit shut down, or etc. All the stuff we've been covering over the last month now. Anyways, Karina then says, it's really crazy to me, because a lot of these same people told me for years that the English dub sucks, and they play it.
Excuse me, I will be returning shortly. I really just like to be honest about this, okay? When you find yourself at a crossroads and you are forced to choose a side, look at both sides of the perspective instead of blindly choosing one side. And you chosen wrong if you blindly support the corporation that pays you. If you are protecting voice actors, union voice actors, and you're also protecting the corporation, you are just as worse as the corporation that is actually paying you for the sake of SAG-AFTRA snagging MiHoYo. It's just, how do you even conduct yourself? Oh, wow. Just, wow.
In other languages, we must have been really good if they cared so much that the English was silent. So this is actually crazy These VAs and their supporters have been getting so much criticism. There's so many issues that people have with their actions. And it's like they can't acknowledge any of that stuff. Just constantly deflecting and being completely tone deaf. And then they talk in their echo chamber and like all agree with each other. It's pathetic. Look at this final comment here. I find it especially frustrating watching how closely this phenomenon resembles the same trajectory we saw in online spaces during the 2016 to 2018 era, where the alt-right mass radicalization, where the alt-right mass radicalized teens and young adults on both social and economic issues. Guys, we're not in the wrong here for being toxic people, for gaslighting people, for lying about
Whose fault is it?
our strike,
Okay,
trying to get the
alt-right
whole internet
mass radicalized
support us
teens
without
and
question.
young adults on
This is-
both social and economic issues. Whose fault that this is happening? I'm sorry. Stop getting fucking political. Stop getting fucking ideological. That has nothing to do with the game. Your fucking ego. This is everything to do with your fucking ego. You keep pulling that shit on me again? Whatever. I'm not even on fucking Blue Sky, so fuck yourself. Bro, why? Why?
It's clearly the fault of the alt-right. What a bunch of lunatics. Okay, so do you remember when Sean Laraway was like, mind you, the voice actors who were replaced on Zenless Zero never said anything as Hoyoverse, blah, all that stuff we already talked about. Well, now we'll go back to Kaiser Neko's response to Sean Laraway, responding to that tweet, or that post rather, where he says, if you're cheering the recast of striking workers, then I genuinely despise you.
You see, SAG-AFTRA has it in their fine print that they would have to attempt to convert a company, knowing that a company is not a union company at all, that protects its voice actors against artificial intelligence. There's incentive for the union voice actors to do that. Now, if you hear someone saying that if anyone ever cheers the recast of striking union voice actors, and that person genuinely would despise those types of people who cheer the recast of striking workers, then let me just tell you, with the information that is actually already presented after doing a lot of research about this, I'm sorry, Scott, you mean nothing to me. Shut the fuck up.
Oh no, guys, what are we gonna do? Kaiser Neko despises us. It's so terrible. Anyways, this person then says, is there a pit we can throw hardcore gamers into? We need a pit to throw these bigots into. Oh yeah, calling out a bunch of manipulative lying people, that's just so bigoted, man. I made the mistake of checking the Genshin subreddits, and they're all dogpiling the striking actors. It's legitimately disgusting how badly they treat their VAs. Well, you know what? It's funny because I've seen the fandom praising a number of the VAs who are not getting involved in this mess. It's only the ones who've been getting involved with this, who've been doing all this toxic stuff, that are getting called out. But here this person is trying to conflate all the VAs together. This next person says, it pains me as a fan of the game that doesn't want anyone to be recast due to the strikes, and as someone who wants the strike to win, it's incredibly frustrating to see the other fans just at best not care at all, and at worst actively berate the striking actors. Some more responses. People celebrating this has actually been so bad for my mental health. I hate Hoyo fans immensely. That takes us to another VA.
I hate corporate people. I hate corporate defenders. This is just... I really fucking hate corporate defenders like this. I really do. I fucking hate this, bro. SAG-AFTRA is a corporation. It's not a union anymore. That's what I'm thinking right now, okay? What the hell?
Says, hello, supporting, respecting, and believing, or at least tolerating voice actors who say they are striking for contracts with enforceable AI protections is pretty cool and neat and hot.
And then the replies are disabled because you don't want to be criticized against. Wow. Howard.
What a weird thing to say. I still just want to have a viable career path in 5 years and not be replaced by synthetic versions of myself, the use of which I'm not paid for and have no say in. And right now is the best time to push for those rights, that's all. Then how come the contract that you're trying to push onto Hoyoverse has a lot more included in it than simply AI protections? Almost like you guys are lying from what we've all seen. This goes right...
Your own contract says everything otherwise everything else in relation to artificial intelligence. If you omit that truth, then you are fucking guilty as every Genshin VA who keep striking for fraudulent reasons. You guys are you are committing fraud.
Back to what I talked about yesterday as well with that post from Little Karibo, where even he was trying to shift the narrative because he had said actors saying, quote, this strike is about AI protections, unquote, never meant that it was exclusively about that. Fans seem to have decided they were lied to regardless. And as I showed yesterday, yes, they have been saying that. In many cases, these VAs have been outright saying that it's just about AI protections. And in many other cases, they've been making the implication, very strong implication, that that's all it is about.
Exactly, bro. But are corporate defenders listening? They're not even changing their minds. They're not even fucking changing their minds right now.
Then when people started looking into this more and seeing that there was a lot more into it and calling them out for this, and they've been freaking out about it for the last month, Little Karibo suddenly makes this damage control post. I do wonder if this specific clique of people all being together on Blue Sky has actually been like really bad for them, because it seems like their points are actively getting worse, but they don't even realize that. They'll make a terrible point, and everyone else there will be like, yeah, that's right, slay. And it's like, bro, your points are so bad, and they've been getting worse every week, every day even. There's no self-awareness at all. As a matter of fact, they think it's like the opposite. They think they're like making better and better points, it seems. We're going to end with this post that I thought was just absolutely hilarious. Look at this one, guys. You ready for this? And us empathetic fans deserve a better game. Screw it. Get all the VAs to leave. And make their own game that isn't a gacha. Mass mutiny. Let's go. Well, first of all, as we just talked about yesterday, there are plenty of VAs who will replace the ones that leave, so they'll accomplish like literally nothing at all. But it would be really funny to see this clique of VAs all quit together and try to make their own game. Yeah, that would be really funny to see. I think they should totally do that. Surely that's going to go really well, right? Go ahead, try it, please. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all for tuning in, and my apologies if the coverage today was a little bit messed up in some ways. To be quite frank, I'm really tired today, and I think I could have done better on this video, but hey, I did my best, so hopefully it was at least adequate.
Make sure you guys actually check out Hero Hayes' channel. Hold on, I'm just gonna bring out the actual channel yourself if you actually like to check it out yourself. Mari, you done at least watching the video? Basically, he covers gaming and anime stuff. Hey, good you, huh? So, what have I learned from this? I hate union voice actors who act that they're correct, when in fact, in their contract, they got incentive to convert a non-union company into a union company just because they don't agree to something. And their strategy was using exploitation of AI against voice actors. Fucking wrong. There is incentive for union VAs to force a conversion onto a non-union company, which is corporate dipshit move or strategy, and it's clearly not going to work. MiHoYo was awakened by this, and they're clapping back against every union VA who keeps insisting on their own causes. It's not helping them at all. It is never helping them at all. Never.